I think people can change the perception of formerly incarcerated people, but I think people have to change the perception of themselves. My daughter and I started this process probably 13 years or so ago. Once she convinced me that I should tell this story, her and I started working on this many, many years back. And finally, about 4 or 5 years now, we actually said, okay, we have something. Let's really get serious now about trying to get this message out to people, which is people can change their lives. People can, redeem themselves and move on to be, positive members of society. It was really tough because, a lot of the things, I had kind of buried so far back in my mind because I, was living this whole different life. And I think that's a big part of what was causing so much angst for me. And I didn't even realize it at the time. But, I was having these incredible nightmares and migraine headaches. And I think it was all because I was just holding it in. But also there was a certain amount of nervousness and fear that it would come out. And that was all. I was keeping all that inside. Once I really started to let it out and talk to my daughter and kind of share some of these things and get it out, it was really helpful. The nightmares stopped, the migraines stopped. And I think it was just because, I was able to get this out and not be worried and concerned about it being hidden anymore. I think there's more than one audience for this book. I think there's a business audience. I think some of the stories in there about how we built the brand and some of my opportunities at other companies and things that I did there. Sneakerheads, are definitely going to be interested in the Jordan part of it. I'm hoping that it can reach young people in our community that might be going down the same path that I was on. I hope, there's a young Larry Miller out there who may be about to do something crazy and stupid, and maybe this will make him stop and think and realize that he might do something that he would regret for the rest of his life. So I think there's a fairly broad audience, but to me, it's really focusing on incarcerated people, formerly incarcerated people, and young people who are maybe headed down that wrong path. We've been fortunate to have worked with amazing athletes, entertainers, teams. One of the things that jumps out to me is the whole Michigan deal. That really helped us move the needle when it came to being on the football field, because up to that point, we had football athletes that were signed, but our logo couldn't show up on the NFL field. We weren't approved. When the Michigan deal happened, which was amazing for us, that I think opened up people's idea to say, well, you know what? I get Jordan on the football field. I could see that. And with Michigan, I think it was a perfect match for us. I know the first weekend that we launched, we were all out in Michigan, MJ, all of us. And that weekend, they sold more product at the bookstore than they had the whole year before. The whole goal for this was to really, create something that could motivate and inspire people, something that, people who are incarcerated or formerly incarcerated people might get some inspiration out of, that, maybe they could change their lives. And also for people who how maybe change the perception of how people view formerly incarcerated people. Folks that know me are like, they're blown away because they could never imagine me having done the things that I've done. But that to me just shows that people can change. People can become something different or someone different.